Philippines is slipping from China's grip forever. From betrayal and broken promises to alliances forged in fire. This is the story of how China officially lost the Philippines forever. Stay with us, because what's unfolding in Manila could reshape the entire balance of power in Asia. Please click on the subscribe button to support the channel. Thank you. In the early 2000s, Beijing and Manila promised each other partnership. Trade boomed. Tourism soared. China poured billions into Philippine infrastructure. But behind the scenes, seeds of distrust were already being planted. When Chinese vessels swarmed Philippine waters, something snapped. The Scarborough Shoal standoff in 2012 became a turning point. What China called peaceful negotiations felt to Filipinos like bullying and betrayal. President Rodrigo Duterte stunned the world when he pivoted towards China, seeking loans and investment. But after years of promises, many projects never materialized. Filipinos began asking, did China just play us? Across Asia and Africa, nations were falling into Beijing's debt trap. Filipinos feared the same. Was China's friendship a gift or a Trojan horse? Even as Duterte courted Beijing, U.S. troops remained. The 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty never wavered. America's presence was a constant reminder. When it comes to security, the Philippines has only one true ally. Filipino fishermen harassed at sea. Philippine ships blocked by Chinese Coast Guard. National pride humiliated. The anger spread across villages, towns, and cities. Public opinion turned. When Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. came to power, he reversed Duterte's gamble. He chose sovereignty over compromise and partnership with the West over dependency on China. The Philippines granted America expanded base access. U.S. troops, equipment, and warplanes returned. For China, it was the nightmare scenario. U.S. firepower stationed just a few hundred miles from Taiwan. At the UN and ASEAN, the Philippines spoke louder than ever. Manila reminded the world. The 2016 Hague Tribunal already ruled China's claims illegal, and the world began to listen. Ordinary fishermen became national heroes. Their small wooden boats, facing massive Chinese Coast Guard ships, became a symbol of resistance. This wasn't just about borders, it was about dignity. Filipino youth flooded social media with patriotic campaigns. Hashtags calling out China went viral. A new generation was declaring, the Philippines is not for sale. Japan, once an enemy, became a partner. Defense deals, Coast Guard training, and billions in investment tied Manila closer to Tokyo. China's circle of influence was collapsing. While China tried to dominate the seas, India offered the Philippines missiles and technology. The Indo-Pacific alliance was taking shape, and China was being isolated. The Quad, U.S., Japan, India, and Australia saw the Philippines as a critical frontline state. And China suddenly realized it wasn't just losing an ally, it was surrounded. Filipino businesses once dependent on China began diversifying. Western investors returned. Japan and Korea doubled down. Manila's economy was no longer chained to Beijing. The Philippine military began modernizing at an unprecedented pace. Warships, fighter jets, and missile systems replaced outdated gear. For the first time in decades, Filipinos believed they could defend themselves. With tensions over Taiwan growing, the Philippines became more crucial than ever. America needed it. Taiwan needed it. And for Manila, this was leverage Beijing could no longer ignore. From failed rail projects to undelivered investments, China's credibility in the Philippines collapsed. Beijing had promised a golden age. What Filipinos got was empty words. From Manila to Mindanao, the Philippines was no longer debating whether to stand up to China. It already had. The nation's identity was reborn, proud, independent, unafraid. And so, China officially lost the Philippines, not through war, but through betrayal, arrogance, and miscalculation. The Philippines had chosen sovereignty over submission, allies over bullies, and the future over fear. The Philippines once avoided confrontation, but now Manila draws red lines. Any aggression against Philippine forces Any attempt to occupy its waters is declared an act of war. What was once silence is now defiance. And China is forced to realize the Philippines is no longer afraid. China fought not just with ships, but with narratives. Propaganda, fake news, and soft power attempted to sway Filipino opinion. But the digital age betrayed Beijing. Filipinos on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube spread the truth faster than state media could hide it. In the battle of information, the people themselves became the shield of the nation. Millions of Filipinos abroad sent home more than just money. They sent influence. From California to Dubai, from London to Sydney, the Filipino diaspora carried stories of democracy, freedom, and dignity. Beijing could not silence them. Their voices became global amplifiers of the Philippine cause. In a deeply Catholic nation, the church has power beyond politics. Priests and bishops began to speak openly against intimidation at sea. From the pulpit, nationalism mixed with faith. The message was clear. God gave the Philippines its land and waters. No foreign power has the right to take them away. China tried to project power through money. The Philippines countered with something far stronger: culture. Filipino music, cinema, and spirit spread across Asia, carrying a message of joy and resilience. While China flexed warships, the Philippines won hearts. Filipino tycoons once welcomed Beijing's billions. But after repeated disappointments, the tide turned. Corporate leaders began pulling investments away from Chinese partnerships and redirecting them to Japan, Korea, and the West. China hadn't just lost the streets, it lost the boardrooms. For decades, America's role in the Philippines was questioned. But when China pushed too hard, the American eagle returned in force. Joint drills, carrier groups, and modern technology turned Philippine bases into fortresses. For Beijing, the nightmare was complete. The Philippines had become America's unsinkable aircraft carrier. For years, the Philippines bought weapons. Now it begins to build them. Shipyards, missile factories, and drone programs emerge. With help from allies, Manila is no longer just defending, it is producing. And with every weapon built, China's dream of dominance slips further away. ASEAN nations once walked a fine line, fearing Beijing's wrath. But the Philippines stood firm, and slowly neighbors followed. Vietnam, Malaysia, even Indonesia began to lean away from China's orbit. What started in Manila began to reshape the region. They had no warships, no missiles, only nets and small boats. Yet the courage of Philippine fishermen inspired a nation. Every time they faced Chinese coast guards, they reminded the world, the defense of sovereignty begins with ordinary men. China's gray zone tactics, water cannons, blockades, swarms of ships, were meant to break Manila's will. Instead, they united Filipinos more than ever. Each clash became global news. Each act of intimidation became another nail in the coffin of China's influence. Geography is destiny, and the Philippines' destiny is to sit beside Taiwan. If China ever moved against Taipei, it would face not just the island's defenses, but U.S. and Philippine forces stationed right next door. The Philippines was no longer a bystander. It had become a lifeline of democracy in Asia. China offered surveillance technology, but Filipinos turned to Silicon Valley, Tokyo, and Seoul. The digital backbone of the Philippines began to integrate with democratic nations. Beijing's dream of dominating cyberspace in Manila collapsed. Scholarships once tied Filipino students to China. Now, universities look westward. More young Filipinos study in America, Europe, Japan, and Korea. Each graduate brings back not just knowledge, but values that strengthen independence. The old remember a time when China felt like a friend. The young grew up seeing harassment at sea, broken promises, and empty investments. And it is the young who will lead tomorrow. China lost not just today, but the future generation of Filipinos. A greater arc of alliances forms: Japan, South Korea, Australia, India, America, and at the center, the Philippines. For Beijing, this is a geopolitical disaster. For Manila, it is a golden shield. Beneath the South China Sea lie vast energy reserves. China wanted them. But now, Manila partners with Western companies and neighbors to secure its share. China's aggression didn't win resources, it lost them. History repeats itself. From Spanish colonization to Japanese occupation, Filipinos have always resisted foreign domination. China underestimated this spirit. But the same resilience that carried the nation through centuries now stands against Beijing. At sea, every clash ends with one powerful sight: the Philippine flag waving over small ships against giants. That image, broadcast worldwide, has become the ultimate symbol. It tells the world, sovereignty is not measured by size, but by courage. And so, history closes a chapter. China, once so close to controlling Manila, has lost it forever. Not by invasion, but by arrogance. Not by strength, but by overreach. The Philippines has chosen its destiny: free, sovereign, and unbowed. And for Beijing, there is no turning back. This is not just the story of a nation. It is the story of how even the smallest voice can defy a giant. And in that defiance lies the true power of the Philippines. Please do well to subscribe to our channel. Let's support the nation together.